Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Holly and today we are doing my 20-week pregnancy update. So in today's video we are going to be talking about development of baby at 20 weeks, my physical symptoms, my mental health, baby's movements and a belly shot at the end. So let's get started and talk about baby's development this week. So if baby is a girl, which we don't know whether this baby is a boy or a girl, but if it is a girl, there is approximately 7 million eggs in her ovaries right now. But by the time I give birth, there will be between 1 and 2 million eggs in her ovaries. So baby is having REM sleep right now, so they are actually able to have dreams. I'm not sure what they would be dreaming about. I guess they can obviously hear what's going on around them and hear my voice and stuff, so maybe they're dreaming about the voices that they can hear and the noises, and I know that they can detect light as well. I'm not sure if they can yet. I'm pretty sure they can, so maybe that is something that they are dreaming about as well. And they are also drinking several ounces of fluid every day to practice and develop their breathing ready for the outside world, which, having a daughter that passed away due to lung issues, and a lot of her lung issues came from not having enough amniotic fluid. Obviously that's something we always make sure we check at scans, because it is just one of those things that had a significant impact on our daughter's development in the past, and I know how significantly important it is to have that fluid to practice and develop super strong, healthy lungs. And baby is starting to produce that wonderful first poop, otherwise known as meconium, which is the thick black tarry substance, which obviously you hope that they will wait until they've been born to pass that first poop. So yes, that is another wonderful thing that is going on inside my uterus this week. And baby will be growing big enough now that it is possible that they will be pressing against your lungs, which I can assure you this baby has definitely been doing in this last week. And now that baby has started to straighten out more, they can actually measure the baby from head to toe instead of crown to rump, and the baby is about 10 inches at the minute, so it's really starting to get big in there. And while we are still talking about baby, let's move on to talking about baby movements. So we have a very active baby, super strong, especially I've noticed that it seems to be very active on an evening time. There is no set pattern at the minute. I don't feel like there is a pattern that I can rely on to know the baby's well-being, which gives me some anxiety, and I do get anxious on a morning when I first wake up if I don't feel baby straight away, especially because I've lost a baby in the past. It does just make me very nervous, and I don't like the fact that at the minute there is no reliable pattern. So it is still a case of just making sure that baby is moving each and every day, which thankfully it is, and it is super strong when it does move. And I did actually get some video finally for you guys, so I will insert the clip now. I'm not going to talk over it because I'm going to be pointing out to you, so hopefully you can see where the baby kicks are. So I hope you guys can detect and see where the baby was moving in those videos. I literally spend most of my free time, if I'm not busy and stuff, I spend most of my time literally staring at my belly. I usually actually shine my torch on it. I don't know if it's just my eyesight, and I always have to have my glasses on and stuff, but I'm literally just staring with my torch shining at my belly, which I know that babies can react to light, like I said earlier in the video. So it's just interesting that it does seem to jiggle about a bit more when I'm then shining a torch on my belly. And then obviously, like when you take cold drinks or sugary drinks, they say that baby moves about more, and it's just interesting seeing what actually stimulates baby to move. But I do notice that when I'm having the busier days, that I don't know if it's because I'm moving about and the rocking motion, that the baby doesn't seem to move as much during the day, or it just seems to be a night owl, which all of my previous babies were as well, so maybe that's just what it is. But it does seem to be very active on an evening when I just sit down and actually just pay attention. Like right now I can feel baby moving, but it's probably because I'm actually sat down and sat still that it's then waking up, and it's just kicking around in there. So moving on to talk about my physical symptoms. So like I mentioned, baby is big enough now that the uterus is pushing against my lungs, and that is definitely the case for me personally. I am asthmatic in general, and it's definitely not an asthmatic feeling that I'm getting, but I'm finding I'm out of breath really easily. And for example, we went for a walk the other day, me and my husband. We managed to get someone to look after the kids. My mum and dad had them, and we got to go for a walk for my mental health, and it was the most easiest walk. There was a slight gradient, but it was nothing that pre-pregnancy that I would have found absolutely a doddle and wouldn't have even thought about it. And I was so out of breath for the whole walk, and we tried going on this walk so that we had this opportunity to have some time to talk, and I was literally panting in between trying to talk. It was really hard work, and I found that when we went shopping yesterday I was really out of breath as well. So it's really weird because it's not the same as when I'm asthmatic. It's not like my breathing tubes are like going tight, which is more my asthmatic thing, and then I have to take my inhaler and it opens up my airways. It literally just feels like there's just something pushing on my lungs, and I just can't get as much oxygen in as I would like to do. Thankfully my joints don't seem to be too bad this week, which is good, because then I have been able to get out and about a bit, do some walking, which then sometimes I maybe overdo it a little bit, but I am glad that I don't seem to be in as much pain this week, which is a big improvement. I haven't done anything different, I don't think. I'm just really trying to take the good days as they come and enjoy them when they do happen. One thing that I think is possibly because I've then started to be more active is I've been starting to get restless legs in my calves, and it really, especially last night, was super restless, and I was getting my husband to tickle my legs. I didn't know whether to have a bath, which I was too tired to do, so I put hot water bottles on them, but I was constantly having to shake them and stuff, and it was really an uncomfortable feeling. So that has been something that has been troubling me this week, and I'm really hoping it's not going to stick around, and then it could just be because I've been doing too much walking and getting a little bit too active, and my body's just not used to it because I've been so much resting because of the joint problems. So we'll see how that goes, and fingers crossed it's not going to be a long-term issue throughout the pregnancy. A really big symptom that has significantly impacted me, especially in the last few days, is I can't sleep. I can't fall asleep on a night, and this, I have been drinking small amounts of coffee during this pregnancy, but not significant that it would ever affect my sleep. But for some reason in this last week, I can't fall asleep on a night. I'm constantly waking, even if I don't need the toilet, and then I'm waking super early, and then I'm just awake and can't rest like I want to. My mind is no, I just want to sleep. I don't want to get up yet, and then my body's I don't want to sleep anymore. I'm over this, and I'm gonna just wake you up. And yeah, my head and my body are not on the same page right now, and I'm very tired because of it. So I did have a very bad night last night, and my husband's snoring did not help, so I have told him that I just desperately, after about 3 nights of really poor sleep and waking up so ridiculously early, I don't know if it's I remember in my first pregnancy this happened, and I would wake up at 6 in the morning and be nesting and rearranging the cupboards. I feel like that might be happening. I've definitely been in crazy nesting mode today, but I have asked my husband and told him he is sleeping downstairs tonight to just hopefully, fingers crossed, I can at least get a solid block of sleep instead of it being so disturbed. My body already seems to be waking itself up on its own for no reason. The last thing I need is him waking me up. He tends to set an alarm that then he doesn't get up for, so then it just wakes me up and stuff like that. So it's just really disrupted sleep at the minute, and my body just doesn't seem to really want to sleep. It just seems to be going into crazy nesting mode. So we will see how that goes with him sleeping downstairs, and whether I can recuperate and get some energy back in the next week or so. And moving on now to talk about my mental health during pregnancy. So in regards to my mental health, we will start with the positives. I have had some really good days. I've had some very productive days. I feel a lot better now than I did, say, at the beginning of the week. At the beginning of the week, I actually had an appointment at Newcastle and we had an incident where I ended up in a significant mental health crisis. They actually admitted me to the day unit and then I was going to be staying overnight waiting to speak with a crisis team. We did actually decide then to come home that night and didn't get to speak with the crisis team because we just decided that I needed to be home and in my own bed, and obviously with it being a 2-hour journey as well, and with it being a bank holiday, we didn't know at what point the crisis team would be able to speak to us. But without going into too much detail, it was basically triggered from a passing comment that was very rude from a staff member at Newcastle Hospital, and unfortunately I was already in a bit of an unstable place, and I have been a bit unstable for quite a few weeks now, and it just triggered a complete meltdown. I got very upset and I was actually meant to be having a second anomaly scan, which now is rescheduled for later on this week, so I'll talk to you more about that next week. I did actually then have a quick reassurance scan, which was then performed by my consultant, just kind of to give me the reassurance that baby was okay and to try and bring me back up after I'd had this really bad mental health crisis. But at the minute we are just trying to work out ways of keeping me stable. My husband has actually taken this week off work so that I am able to completely ground myself, re-stabilize myself a little bit, because I was just so in an unstable state of mind that any small thing like that was bound to trigger me. And unfortunately, because of my mental health and because it had been going downhill for quite a few weeks, it just was quite catastrophic. Thankfully baby is safe, baby's healthy, I'm now safe, I'm fine too, and I do feel a little bit better than I did. I certainly feel a lot better than I did a few days ago, and I'm certainly working my way towards feeling more stable and definitely feeling more positive about the future. But it is something that unfortunately I think is going to be not something that's going to be a quick fix, and it's something that we're just going to have to take each day at a time, which is the best way for me to go at the minute, is to just keep each day one at a time and just try and get through each day and enjoy the good days and just try and keep safe during the bad days. I have found myself a lot struggling to bond with baby. It's something that I'm struggling to wrap my head around, so a lot of the times I am having conversations with Fabian and kind of in disbelief, and I keep saying to him, you know, like, there's actually a real baby in me, like it's moving and I can feel it, and like it's got eyes and it's got ears, and I have to keep convincing myself and kind of making myself realize what is actually going on in my life and in my body right now, and it's just something that's difficult at the minute. It has tempted me to want to find out the gender, but I'm still holding off for now. I just wonder if I had a name for this baby and a gender, whether I could make any more of a connection with it or not, but at the minute I am holding off, and I'm just hoping that we can find other ways for me to bond with baby instead of actually ruining something that I really wanted to keep as a surprise until birth. And now for the last part of this video, on a more positive note, let's do my belly shot. Okay guys, so this is my belly from the front, and then this is from the left hand side. Just see if you can, there you go. And then from my right hand side, so it's definitely starting to pop now. I'd be really interested to know if you guys think I'm carrying high or low. So make sure to comment down below if you do think I'm carrying high or low. I'm really undecided. I feel like I'm definitely higher in this pregnancy than I have been in previous pregnancies. That's what it looks like from the front. And then from the left hand side, there you go. That is my 20-week belly. We are halfway or over halfway because of when I will have to probably give birth. So thank you guys so much for watching and continuing to support my channel and support me as I'm going through this journey and this pregnancy, which has certainly not been an easy journey. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing down below, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!